Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Masters of the Universe Origin figure set, the Battle of Eternia figure line. So this is 4 figures in one pack. Each one's different representations of the various groups. So you have like the Eternian Guard, you have Skeletor represented, the Horde, and also the Snake Men. So this looked to be a really cool set. I'm really excited about this just to see what they did with these figures. So with all that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And for anybody who hasn't subscribed and you do like this review, then I please ask that you hit that subscribe button and also check out my Masters of the Universe playlist. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. Okay, so here they are in packaging. So right off the cuff, I do like this artwork on the front. I think this looks really cool. You got this whole battle thing going on. So you got like their Skeletor version of that character. You have this guy here, the Eternian guy, and then the Horde, and then a whole bunch of really cool stuff happening around in the background. I do like this front art. This looks really cool. And you open it up like this. All right. Back her up a little bit so you can see the top. So basically the same artwork from the outside. You have a little bit here about the conflict between these characters. Then you got this beautiful open window so you can see all the different figures, each one of their names. You got the Mattel logo and retro play. Okay. Got to bring it back forward a little bit because of the length of this box. Oops. So bringing around here, you got Masters of the Universe, Battle for Eternia. Slide it around this way. You got a really nice artwork of each individual figure. I do like that. You also got their names and a little bit of backstory behind each one of them. So I do like that a lot. That's way cool. And in this side, not much on this side either. You look at the top, it's a continuation of the front picture. So when I open this up, again, you can see how it's a continuation, which is really nice. And then underneath you have your SKU logo, Masters of the Universe, Battle of Eternia, and your legal. So, all that being said, let's open this thing up and see what it's about. So first we're going to start off with the Skel-Knight. And the reason why I'm starting off with him first is just because he's going to be the easiest one to show the points of articulation on. So I'm only going to do it on one figure, except for the Pitmaster. I will do his alternate points of articulation as well. But for the most part, you only need to do it on the one because they all basically have the same points of articulation. So his head does move. All right. He does have a shoulder joint with a swivel. He has an elbow joint and a wrist joint. All right, get these arms up. He does have a torso joint. All right, spin him around this way. He has a thigh joint, a knee joint, a swivel at the top of the boot, and he also has an ankle joint. So all the points of articulation work pretty well with this guy. I don't have any issues with it. Now let's get into his details, okay? So first off, I love the head sculpt. That's a wicked looking head sculpt. I really like that. I love how he has the Skeletor green smeared on his face. It's not like part of the helmet. It looks like it was smeared on. Or even it was on there at some point and just got scratched off on combat or whatever. So I love the overall look to his head. I do like this armor here. That looks really cool. I think this is basically the old classic style Beastman armor, like based off of the mini comics, if I remember right. All right. And you have his tunicate here or whatever this thing is called. That looks really cool. the face in it. And then you got the legs here. A lot of really cool detail on the sides of this as well. The same with his leg armor. We put this arm down now. And you get all this detail in here as well. Back, not a whole lot to talk about on the back. This side is basically the same as the other two sides. And back around to the front. Well, the other side, there isn't no two other sides. So that's his overall look. Now, he does come with one weapon, and that's his green sword. I really like the design to that. That looks really cool overall. So put that in his hand. Boom. So that's him with the sword. No issues with that as well. So overall, I think he's a really cool looking figure. He's probably my second favorite of the set overall. So I really do like him. I think he's a really neat looking figure. All right, so next is the Paragon Champion. He does have your pretty much standard, Royal Guard look to him. He has the Royal Guard helmet, as well as King Randor style armor, shoulder pads similar to Man-at-Arms, same with the shin guards. All right, but the only unique thing I see on him is his arm gauntlet piece here. So first off, let's take a look at the head. The head sculpt's, like I said, your standard Eternian guard. He has that gold and white. Those are usually colors that they use for pure champions and what have you. All right. Spin them around to this side. Got the arm gauntlet and everything. Take a look underneath. Not much there. He does have a plastic cape. I'm not normally a fan of the plastic capes, but for the new Eternia line, it does work with them. These are not new Eternia. I'm sorry, the Origin figures. It does work well with them. So that's behind the cape. Okay. Then you got this side here. Like I said, there's your gauntlet. And back around to the front. Now, he does come with one weapon, and that's his Warhammer. I do like the overall look to this. This looks really cool. Okay. Now, this is meant to be a single hold hammer. That you might be able to get it into both hands. Yeah, okay, so that's supposed to slide in here, giving me some trouble. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Because it looks like he has two spots that you can hold on to this hammer with. Right, his armor's getting in the way of everything. Elbow doesn't want to work right. So, let's see if we could get this hand down here. There we go. Now you got the top hand. So as you can see, he can hold the Warhammer two-handed, which looks pretty cool, actually. He is my least favorite of the group, but he's still a pretty cool looking figure. I like the overall look to him. All right, so now we have the Pit Warden. Now this dude, he's pretty cool looking, but man, he has that whole, existence is pain look to him. He's just like an abomination of like 3 different heads and some warped looking body parts and stuff. So he's pretty cool, but you kind of feel sorry for the guy for even living. Now we're going to get into his points of articulation because he does have a couple points that the other figures don't have. So he has a swivel here. He has a joint here for this head. This head has an open mouth. All right, you do have a swivel here. This head does move. And it also, excuse me, has a mouth that opens, just like that. All right. And then all his other joints are your basic joints, except for his ankle down here, which is less of a swivel. It's more of a, it's more of a swivel and less of a joint. So those are all his different points of articulation. Everything else is pretty much standard. So we're going to get into his heads first. So this head here, let's move this out of the way. It's kind of your standard monster head. Nothing spectacular about that. The same with him. He's your reptile person style head. So that's pretty cool looking. All right, come around to this side. You have, all sorts of bumps, and whatever on his arm here. The same, like he has this nice blue gauntlet. This leg looks pretty standard for the most part. Let's lift this arm up so you can see underneath. You got this thigh joint, sorry, not joint, armor here. That looks pretty cool. Bring him around to the back. Not a lot going on there. And you got this serpent arm, which is, I guess, a callback to King Hiss in a way. And then you have this more reptilian dragon style head on his arm here. So now that we looked at that, he's the one who comes with the most accessories. So he comes with this shield here. He comes with a sword. And then he has an extension neck. I believe it's for the reptile head on the top. So let's see how all this works. So we're going to start with this extension first. All right, there it goes. All right. So now this head has an extension. So he can sit higher. All right. Now this head is supposed to hold the sword. All right. So get that in that jaw. All right. So, oops. He has now become a little bit front heavy. That head out of the way. So you can have that head hold the sword. All right. Or if you prefer, you can also have the sword in this hand as well. All right. So the sword fits in either hand. No issues. All right. And then you got your shield, which can actually probably only work in the one hand. There it goes. Oh, come on, man. Okay, so this is giving me some issues, but there it goes. So you got the shield on there as well. And then let's give this back. The sword hand. Now this figure feels off balance just because, well, he is. And that's just the nature of the beast with this one. So there you go. Now you have him holding both the sword and the shield with no issues. Alright, so I say my favorite one for last, and that's the Horde Revenant. I love the overall look to this guy. I'm not even going to lie about that. He is just such a really badass looking kind of figure. Let's get a good look at his head first. I love that head sculpt. It has such a kind of like Mad Max helmet slash the Beastmaster helmet, the leader of the Juns helmet kind of reminds me of that too. So I love the overall look to this helmet sculpt. I love his armor sculpt as well. That looks really cool with the black and gray. He does have the standard Hordak feet. Bring him around to this side. Let's lift this arm up. So he has the bottom part of his armament there. I guess it's called a tunic. I'm not exactly sure. And you come around to the back, which looks kind of cool. And this side is pretty much the same. And back around to the front. Now, he does come with a scepter. Okay. A little bit bent, but it works. So that just fits nicely in there. I think I would have liked to have seen this guy come with the standard Horde crossbow as well, but what he does have works for him. And like I said, he's kind of, to me personally, the best looking one of the lot. I like him a lot. All right, so let's get into my final thoughts with these guys. First off, all their joints move very well. I do like the movement of their joints, but to be honest with you, with these Origin figures, I never had any issues with any joints with any of them before. So it doesn't surprise me that there's no issues with the joints for these ones as well. All their accessories fit well with them. I have no issues with the accessories that they come with. And their overall look is really cool. I think each figure as an individual looks really cool for what they are. Obviously I have my favorites like the Revenant here and the Skel-Knight guy are definitely my two favorites of the group. But each one has their own sense of personality, their own unique look, and they look really, really cool. And the neat thing is they're world builders. So they're not a named character. They're not like He-Man or Skeletor or Trapjaw or King Hiss. No, these are actually troop building figures. So you could get a couple of these packs and you could build up armies for your 4 factions so they could do battle. So I do like that about these guys. Plus, they're also original figures. And I like seeing good original figures. And that's what these are. Like they have pulled out a couple, original figures that weren't so great. Like I think recently they did the Reptile Wars where the guys were just mix match parts from some of the the Snake Men and what have you. And then they had that one monstrosity that I'm getting that's just a bunch of mix match parts of figures. So these guys actually have their own look. They're very original and they look really cool. So at the end of the day, would I recommend these figures? Absolutely. I feel like this set is a must have for your Origins line. They're just, like I keep on saying, great looking figures. They're all original figures. They're good world builders and they just look cool. Each one of them looks cool and they have their own sense of personality. So I would highly recommend this set to go with your Masters of the Universe Origins collection. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Masters of the Universe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late. Yeah, you guys are going right onto the shelf after this too.